You know, the automotive world is constantly shifting, and if you're an independent tire dealer, just standing still, well, that's not really an option anymore. So today, we're laying out a really clear blueprint for how to thrive in 2025. Let's dive right in. So, here's what we're going to break down today. First, we'll look at the shifting landscape. Then we'll talk about how to win over. After that, we'll get into expanding your services and the incredible power of industry partnerships. It's the whole shebang, a full blueprint for success. All right, so before we can even think about building for the future, we've got to take a hard look at what's happening right now. And the truth is, the landscape is being defined by some very real pressures that are squeezing margins and totally changing how customers behave. Let's just get right to the bottom line. The data from the beginning of 2025 shows that the average cost for a tire replacement is up almost 3%. And it's not just one thing, it's a whole mix of stuff. Labor costs, those crazy supply chain ripples we're all feeling, and just rising demand that's putting a squeeze on both you and your customers. But here's the crazy part, the real paradox. Even while costs are going up, the whole market is absolutely booming. I mean, a bigger pie sounds great, right? But it also attracts way more competition from every direction. The big takeaway here is that you've got to fight smarter, not just harder, to get your piece of it. And this quote from ASA Automotive Systems, man, it just hits the nail on the head. This is the core challenge. The old ways of doing business, just relying on word of mouth or people driving by, that's just not enough anymore. Today's customers, they start their search online. And if you're not there to meet them, you're pretty much... And that's the perfect lead into the first pillar of our blueprint, winning online. Your digital presence isn't some optional extra anymore. It's literally your new front door. And the good news is you don't need some massive marketing budget to build it. So what does that look like? Well, building that foundation really just boils down to 3 simple, totally manageable steps. First, making sure people in your actual area can find your website. Second, taking control of your Google profile. Actively, and I mean actively, managing your online reputation. Okay, let's talk about local SEO. I know it sounds super technical, like some kind of dark art, but I promise you it's not. It's really just about using the words you're typing into Google. So, if you're a tire shop in Houston, you need the phrase "tire shop in Houston" all over your site. This right here is your secret weapon against the big national chains in your own backyard by being the most relevant local answer. And listen, we're not talking about a small trickle of customers here. We are talking about over 135,000 searches every single month for auto repair near me. These are not window shoppers. These are people with a real problem who are active to fix it right now. Just capturing a tiny fraction of that traffic can be a total game changer. All right, so you've got your digital house in order. People can find you online. What's next? Well, it's time to think beyond your physical walls. The modern shop isn't stuck in one place, which brings us to our next pillar, expanding your service footprint. Just look at the difference here. This really lays out the whole story. The old model was reactive, right? Customers to show up during your business hours. But the new model, it's proactive. Whether they're at home, at work, or, even stranded on the side of the road. It's a complete reimagining of what service can be. So how do you actually tap into this whole mobile market? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there is the breakdown directory. You can kind of think of it as the 911 for drivers in distress. When a trucker blows a tire or a commuter gets a flat, this is where they go for help, fast. Oh man, they are huge. You're not just creating a new revenue stream, you're tapping into a market of people who will happily pay a premium for speed and convenience. But here's the real prize. You pull off one great roadside rescue, and you can earn a loyal customer. So, you're winning online, you're expanding your service area. What's the next level up? This next pillar is all about amplifying that strength. As an independent dealer, it can feel like you're on an island sometimes, but you don't have to be. Partnerships are your force multiplier.
Let me give you a perfect example. Manufacturer e-partner programs. Let me break down how this works because it's genius. A customer goes to a major brand's website, say Michelin, and they buy a set of tires right there. But wait, they still need someone to install them, right? That's where you come in. The manufacturer sends that customer and that guaranteed sale straight to your service bay.
It's an absolute win-win. You get paid for the installation, you usually get a commission on the tire sale, but most importantly, you get a brand new customer walking through your door that you didn't have to spend a single dime to acquire. Line of business. And hey, this isn't just about the big tire manufacturers. Major distributors are getting in on this too. Companies like American Tire Distributors, they have these really robust loyalty programs that offer way more than just tires. They're offering stuff that actually helps you run a better, more profitable shop, like business support and simplified rebate tracking. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. The shifting landscape, the online customer, expanding your services, strategic partnerships. So let's tie this all together and look at what the final blueprint for a modern shop really looks like. So what does this all boil down to? What's the playbook? A modern shop, it understands the new economic realities. It meets customers exactly where they are, which is online. It goes out and gets business instead of just waiting for it. And it doesn't try to go it alone. It leverages the strength of the entire industry. This, right here, is the new identity of a successful shop. It's not about being the biggest shop on the block. It's about being the smartest. It's about being nimble enough to offer mobile services, savvy enough to master, and connected enough to build powerful partnerships. That's the formula. This blueprint for 2025. But you know what? The evolution, it never ever stops. With EVs demanding specialized service and AI that's going to totally revolutionize diagnostics, that leaves us with a huge question to think about. What's the next pillar we need to add to this blueprint? Thanks for joining us.